come up here again, Philip. He's had this before. Hey, Michael, what's this like? Can you hear it?
Can I hear it? Is he deaf? Wait till all the people who are watching the series say, my ears, my subwoofer just got.
So we've spoken that a person is their own being, right? And what they think, but they also have a thing called a space. And this thing called a space is really interesting because it exists and we're all aware of it, but we're implicitly aware of it, not explicitly aware of it. Right? Now, I'll show you. So when I come, I'm outside of Philip's boundary now. I don't feel Philip. Now when I come in about there, I can feel him. Right? It's about right? So I'm crossing into Philip's space. And as I cross into Philip's space, last time he said, can you clean your teeth? Now that becomes really tough, right? But if I step out here I'm outside of his space, and he can feel my steps in. All of you know that. You can feel somebody in your space. You can feel somebody look at you. Have you ever looked at somebody and they turned and looked at you? What are they feeling? Right? We don't ask this. We just operate in this the whole time. Okay? Stay there. Now. I've got a club here. The club's called a microphone, but for my sake it's a club. Right? If I come at Philip and I violate his boundaries, right, and I come and attack his person in some way, what's his response going to be? His response will be to defend himself, correct? Yeah. All right. Now, what we do as one of our responses, we not only bring your arms up, you not only defend your being, but our field structure pushes out. Right? And I said in one of the lectures that when I was dealing with some patients who'd been violated as kids, that I had to walk across the car park. I put them in one end of the car park, and I kept walking until I could feel I was outside of their space and they could acknowledge I was outside of their space. You're talking in tens of metres, 40, 50 metres. A long way. Now, Philip's been abused as a child, and then you turn around here, it's 25 metres to the door. So Philip's here, and his boundaries go out 30 metres. In walks Freddie through the door. Despite all this, Freddie is now inside Philip's space. He's 30 metres away. And Freddie just keeps walking. Who's powerless? Do you see what abuse does? And so if you don't understand this non-physical space, which you have to bring back in, and I find it staggering because I'm interested in physics, I don't understand the physics of this in a field structure. Fields go out forever. This is a defined field that acts like a force field that can come in and out and we can control it. So what we do, we could get patients to bring their arms up and tap their elbows like this. Right, now Philip, look at me, and I want you to suck your space in. And take it back to yourself. See, I'm outside of space still now. I'm closer than I was before. Suck it in. I'm still outside of space. This is variable. I know, so he's got it back to there, right? Okay, you could feel that, couldn't you? Yeah. Right, so he's brought it back from there to there. This is a dynamic field structure. How the hell does that work? It's staggering. We've all got it. So I get people to hold their arms up and tap their arms. Why do I tap them? And it gets their body, brings your body back into presence because you're in a flesh being, and bring your field structure back to your arms, I say. Why do your arms? Because you can punch across your arms. You can defend your boundaries. When your boundary's out 50 metres, you've got 100 people in your space and you can't defend yourself. Go and try an international flight with that one. Try walk through Marion, or which is like a large mega mall shopping centre. You know, it's 30 metres wide and there's people everywhere and everyone's in my space. How do you bring it back? You've got to bring your soul boundaries back. So the first thing that abuse does is when we violate somebody, as little kids, they push out. Kaboom goes their space, but pushing out a field doesn't do anything to a physical body. Okay, sit down, Phil, thanks. Phil's my go-to victim for that that representation. I've done him a number of times that way, yeah.
Do you know it's variable too, because some people will be allowed to be inside that space, but other people don't know, or you know that you don't want to know.
For the question, we allow some people in the space, and if we can pull it back, and we do, and we don't let them in. Yeah, people who've got variable control can bring it right back in. You should be aware of it, and you should be able to bring it back to yourself, so you can be sitting next to somebody and they're not in your space. Because they've got freedom, that's good. That means it's a bit of peace and quiet for you without you feeling everything going on around you. Okay, so abuse occurs when the boundary, space and person of one is violated and damaged by another. The boundary, that space in between, and the person. Now what we've thrown in here, there's plenty of stuff out there on abuse, and you can look at this. What we're doing is we're just giving a slight spiritual, theological understanding of where to go on it. All right? The aim of abuse is to violate the will and ultimately control the person. All right? So the person's then broken up. The person pushes out their boundaries. And the person is often paralysed in a freeze response and can't defend themselves. Do you think that's a way that you could make a part in an older person? Right? So you need understanding abuse in that structure. And then the next problem you've got is what happens and how we relate on that. And I think it's over here. We've said that Jesus has come to share himself with us, and he is a person. He's a person because he exists in a community. A person is not an individual island. Jesus is the son of the dad. He's in fellowship with the Spirit. They're in a community, right? So people exist in communities. We're not an individual substance of rational nature according to Boethius from Neoplatonism, right? We're not an individual substance that can think. No. We're beings that are in relationship. Now, if I'm fully free and fully responsible for myself, my emotions, actions and thoughts, I'm responsible to you but not for you. But when your person gets fragmented, you get disordering of responsibilities, right? And in the fragmentation, instead of the abuser often says, I'm not responsible for what I did, you needed it, it's your fault, you disordering responsibility. The victim says, oh, if I hadn't done it, this wouldn't have happened, and they've got disordering of their and others' responsibilities. And the worst is the rescuer, the person who tries to make it all okay. It's the worst because it enables the whole thing to continue. Rescuers, if rescuers stop rescuing, people's lights go on. All right? So, but all of it's got a disordering of responsibility. And then you throw disordering of responsibility into fragmentation. You've taken the centre of control of yourself and moved it outside yourself. Instead of I'm fully free and fully responsible for myself, you've said, no, somebody else is responsible for me. The moment you've taken the centre of control outside of yourself, you're powerless. A lot of people don't like this definition of personhood. But it's the only way forward. If I'm responsible for me, I'm responsible for myself. And by the way, nobody else can get stuck into me. And I can step forward. So bringing the locus of control, the centre of control, responsibility back to yourself enables you to heal. If you bring it back to yourself and you've still got the conscience running, then you're in a bad way. Because then you're in a fight with yourself. So you've got to bring it back to yourself and have love running, and then love can begin healing your bits. Okay, I think that's enough of that. Bye.